for 46 months. And then I was at the position where I was waiting and waiting and waiting. And on March 25th, 2016, that's when the order came down, vacating my sentences and overturning my conviction. But that wasn't the end. That wasn't the end. 1 week, that was on a Friday. The next Friday, April 1st, I went to court. Of course, all my family was there. And the state of West Virginia decided they were not going to allow the conviction to remain overturned. So they said, we're going to retry Mr. Gardner and try to give him that same time back. So I got a bond. I went on bond that day, April 1st, and I had to fight. I got an attorney appointed, a state attorney appointed, and Robert Dunlap out of Beckley, West Virginia. He was appointed. And we fought together in preparation of a trial from April until September 7th. And on September 7th, the state of West Virginia dismissed all charges with prejudice, after we brought in a DNA expert. And this expert testified for a few hours, and a few days later, all charges were dismissed with prejudice. And I just want the people to know, be persistent. Live and die by your word. And you know that you haven't committed a crime or whatever in life. If you're not guilty, you fight till the end, period. A lot of my friends, a lot of men didn't make it. And a lot of guys told me, they said, Jam, they call me Jam, one of my many names. They said, Jam, I'm not going to make it out of here, but you are. And you have to be a voice for all of us. I heard that this many times. So many times, man. Guys would come to me right before they died and say, I'm not going to make it out of here, man, but speak up for us. You're going to make it out. Keep fighting. It's powerful, man. That's powerful.
Yes, it is.
That happened.
Yes, it is.
That happened. And I live with that every day. And I'm blessed to be able to be a motivational speaker and share my testimony and just try to tell every individual I encounter, never give up, keep the hope, keep faith, continue to strive towards your goals and objectives, man, and attain them, but believe in it and believe in your higher power. I'm not telling individuals they have to be Hindu, they have to be Buddhist, they have to be Muslim, they have to be Christian, they have to be this. Look, wherever you are with your faith, be sure you give that proper praise to your higher power, the Most High. Be grounded and founded in that relationship.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Our Voices. I have a special guest with me. He has come home. He is Mr. Jimmie Gardner and his spouse, Ms. Gardner.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, brother. How you doing?
Doing fine. Jimmie, you and I, we met through social media and we talked on the phone and everything. And a lot of people have asked about the podcast, and I showed them the video, our interview.
Okay.
And nothing but good reviews, and they speak highly of you. And again, this right here, at one point, you felt like you wasn't going to come back in West Virginia, but you know what? This is a homecoming for you, because today, a lot of people in the audience, you mentioned a lot of names. Tell me who they are.
Oh man, I mean, I can go on and on with names, but I mean, it was special to come here to Montgomery, West Virginia. This is where Mr. Beverly Davis and Mrs. Pearl Davis, Lily Davis's mom and dad, God rest their soul. This is where they're from. And these are people I've met while inside. These people were so wonderful to me, and just they treated me like family, along with many other people like Miss Ethel Caffey, and I can keep going on with Reverend Jackson and his wife. I can keep going on and on, but there was so many people from Montgomery, West Virginia, including Judge Joanna Tabbitt, that treated me with respect and dignity and gave me an opportunity to show that I'm a human being, that I'm a person that has love and kindness and care, and to be able to give me hope, to give me motivation, inspiration. They inspired and motivated me. And so I give back today what they gave me 10, 20, 30 years ago. And I'm just thankful to have come to this Mountaineer Challenge Academy South and be able to talk to the cadets and give them the motivation and inspiration that can help them through their journey in life.
This is a homecoming for you, and of course you bring your wife here. Ms. Gardner, please introduce yourself. Please let people know who you are.
Hi, I'm Leslie Abrams Gardner. I'm married to the wonderful Jimmie C. Gardner. I'm a United States District Court judge in the Middle District of Georgia.
All right, and this is your first time here in West Virginia?
Yes.
Now, in Montgomery, West Virginia, what was your first reaction when you saw the landscape of West Virginia?
Well, Jimmie's talked about the mountains. The surprising part, even though I looked it up, I didn't expect it to be as cold as it is. But beyond that, it's gorgeous. I was expecting, though, I wasn't expecting it to be as green and as pretty as it was. I was expecting more kind of, you hear about the mountaintop mining and all of that. And so I didn't expect the vista to be as beautiful as it was when we got here. So that was a very pleasant surprise.
Now, Jimmie, we went back and forth at one point. You're a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Okay. And Ms. Gardner, you want to represent?
Well, of course. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
All right. We know who the best is. Just KSI. But anyway, all right.
Culture for service.
Clearly we're talking about
service for humanity. That's what we represent. Culture for service, service for humanity.
That's
it's
right.
all about the scholarship, sisterhood, and service.
Brotherhood, scholarship, and service. That's what we represent. Brotherhood, scholarship, and service.
Again, today you talked to the cadets at the Mountaineer Challenge Academy. Very well spoken. They were well engaged, and again, it was an honor for you to be here to talk to them. And here's a few clips right here. And of course, I'm gonna cut this out and everything. So
right here, the brain. I can go to the weight pile, lift 400 or 500 pounds. Not 500, about 450. that was quite a time ago. But I can go to the weight pile, lift all the weight. I can be the strongest, the baddest athlete on compound. That's nothing. I didn't have it here. Right here. Intelligence. Educate yourself. Continue to educate yourself. It doesn't end. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And I'm from, like I told you earlier, my great aunt and great uncle, they raised me with education. So I just didn't get it when I got into prison. Went to education before I went into prison. Graduated high school, began college, got in prison, continued college, earned 3 more degrees. Got out of prison, continued college, earned another degree. At 56 years old. It doesn't end. It continues. And it goes until there's no more me or you. Education is infinite. By show of hand, how many of y'all love education? I better see every hand up here. You better put your hand. Thank you. So strong relationships is my first thing I had to really establish going in. And me being from Tampa, Florida, I didn't really want to do much interacting with the guys from West Virginia. I know this might be hard for you all to hear this, but I didn't want to interact too much because I couldn't relate to the vernacular. I felt like guys were making jokes at me, and I was thinking different, and I just kind of kept myself to a certain group of men. And throughout the first 22 years, that's what I did. But I made a change in that process when I went into the RSAT, Residential Substance Abuse and Treatment Program. I went off in there just for a single sale. Making no qualms about it. I wanted a single sale. But I went off in that Residential Substance Abuse and Treatment Program, and I got the best information, the best tools of my life. I can humbly and proudly share it with you today. Just briefly. Just briefly. It won't be right now. I'll come back to you. But anyway, positive mental attitude. I had to keep a positive mental attitude. Of course, in prison, you got individuals that are going to have different mindsets, and it can be perceived as negative. It is what it is. I always say it is what it is. People are going to be who people are going to be. I'm a firm believer in that. I have to continue to maintain who I am and not allow the circumstances to change me to be something else that I'm not. Difficult task, but if you practice it, you eventually will receive nothing but positiveness.
Come back to it. So, what's next for Jimmie Gardner?
Well, my wife and I, we got a trip, an upcoming trip. We're going to Ghana, and we're gonna go over there and enjoy the customs and the culture and the people. We're gonna do our best to just attract good people like we always do.
Now, there was a little buzz in the room about a movie.
Well,
There's a little buzz.
Well-
If you can't say it, you can't say it.
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that, God willing, something like that will come up in the future. Well, currently I'm doing my book.
Okay.
So my book is due out maybe towards the end of 23. But God willing, movies can come. I like for individuals in all realms of life throughout the world to be able to hear about Jimmie C. Gardner, J.C. Gardner Speaks, hear about my ordeal, hear about, the pros and cons and how what society may have thought was given to me, which is, lemons. By the grace of God, I was able to come home and turn that into nothing but, roses.
Was there ever any sort of animosity or just any anger? You say, okay, I'm back on this West Virginia soil here. Bad seed, bad memories. I mean, you never felt that way. You just say, okay, I'm good, I'm clean. I mean, it's just, I'm happy.
I definitely don't have any animosity. I'm thankful for my life. I'm thankful for the instances and occurrences and all the experiences I was able to go through while in West Virginia, fighting for my liberty and afterwards. I mean, it's a part of life. We can't put an outline on what our lives are going to be like. We can't just say we go from this age is going to be like this and that age is going to be like that. We don't know. We have to be able to make good decisions when different type of circumstances occur in our lives. And we have to be able to move forward in a positive direction, and I believe that's what I did, but by the grace of God. And I went through early anger and hatred, like I said in my speech, and I channeled that away and put it in different spaces. I started channeling that anger and hatred and all that negativity into positivity. And that was back in 1992, 1993. So I began in 1989, but that happened early. So I had another, 23 years to go through, or 20 something years to go through after that. Yeah. So, I mean, I lived with humility. I lived with thankfulness, gratitude, because I met a lot of young men inside that were innocent, convicted falsely. And I met a lot of guys that were guilty and received too much time, disparities and sentences.
Yeah.
I've met these men, but they are still incarcerated, and some of them died throughout their journey. A lot of them died. I watched hundreds and hundreds of men around me, not scores, but hundreds, pass away, die from different type of ailments, and it's sad. But I was able to make it home, and I always told guys, I'll be the voice for the voiceless.
Now, while you were incarcerated, you went back to school. You got how many degrees?
Well, I have 3 degrees, associates.
Okay.
But I have the one bachelor's degree in communications. I just received that in 2022, May of 2022. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I know you are keeping it straight. I know you are. I don't want to keep you all much longer because I know you all are busy, and again, I know you all are tired. But again, I want to say thank you. And once again, we finally met in person.
Man, it's a blessing. It's an honor. And let me say this to you, man. You know, we met on the phone, and the way you conveyed your sentiments and the way you spoke about your life experiences and what you're doing in West Virginia, that's what attracted me to you. Mm. And you didn't focus on the negative. You focused on what you could do and how you could bring positive change. And you asked me to do an interview, and I was like, that sounds about right. Okay. Nothing happens by chance. I believe our time was already written. It was already written, and all we had to do was just follow through on it. So the opportunity we got to bless each other with testimonies and information about our lives, you know, we give praise to God for that. Good. And we continue that today. And this, you know, and this is not going to be the last time, God willing. You know, there's more to come. You know, as we continue to write, you know, annals in the history. You know, it's a blessing. Yeah. You know, but I'm just thankful for the opportunity to meet you. You're a solid guy, man. You know, I appreciate you and thank you for everything.
Thank you. Now, one last thing. You're a motivational speaker and coach. Tell the folks about how can they get in touch with you.
Well, you can get in touch with me on social media. Go to my webpage, www.jcgardnerspeaks.com. That's www.jcgardner, that's Gardner, speaks, SPEAKS.com. jcgardnerspeaks.com. And you can go to my webpage, and all information is there where you can find out about bookings, find out about hiring me to come in and do emotional intelligence trainings, things of that sort, mindfulness. You know, that's where the connection's at. You'll get in touch with Amanda Simmons. That's my executive assistant, and you can reach her, you know, at info@jcgardnerspeaks. That's info@jcgardnerspeaks.com. info@jcgardnerspeaks.com. And Amanda Simmons will get back with you within 24 hours. We can make the connection. I also have a Facebook page, JC Gardner Speaks. That's my business page. And Jimmie C. Gardner is my personal page, Jimmie, JIMMIEC, GARDNER. That's my personal page. I prefer you go business. Go to the JC Gardner Speaks page. Instagram, Twitter.
So all of your links.
All of my social media, JC Gardner Speaks.
All right. Ms. Gardner, any last words?
Well, I'm pleased to be here. When you asked Jimmie about what his thoughts were, since I've met him, what he talks about is the people of West Virginia. And I got to meet a lot of people today, and everything he said was true. You're people with a lot of heart. And so my first real introduction was what happened to Jimmie, but the lasting, the enduring is he met some good people who made his life good while he was here.
All right. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Gardner, thank you very much for coming on Our Voices.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. You all take care. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right.